Hello and welcome to the West Yorkshire Football Show. We're taking a look at Leeds United. It's the Leeds United versus Crystal Palace match reaction. An absolute disaster of a day for Leeds United. I don't think any of us were expecting that scoreline. I'm in absolute shock. I can't believe what I've witnessed this afternoon, especially after the first 25 minutes. I'm Stephen Brown. Joining me is Jason Booker. Jason, thanks for coming on, mate. Where the hell do we begin with that performance? Where the hell do we begin with that result? Where the hell does that leave us for the rest of the season? I mean, there is no sugarcoating that at all, is there?
I've just been sat in a little bit of a daze for the last 20 minutes while you were getting yourself ready to come on and that. And I'm just like, I'm trying to think of how to articulate and word what we've just seen. And I feel a little bit like stunned. Like, the early parts of the game, we were good. We played really well. I thought Rocker and McKennie started the game like they finished against Forest. I thought they played really, really well. There were some not so great performances, which I'm sure we'll pick through. But even after scoring, or even before scoring, were it before or after the Bamford goal? I can't remember that Schlupp hit the post. I think it was just after, wasn't it? Every single time they got a set piece in the first half, it still looked like we were going to concede. Every single time. There wasn't a single occasion where the ball got delivered from wide that we defended it well. No. Either we defended it out for another corner at best. Like, it was horrific. And as good as some of the moments were in that first half, and I mean, maybe we should have scored 2 or 3 and then it's maybe a different game, but I don't really buy that. Like, teams have chances all the time that they don't score. That's, otherwise every game would end up 10-15, wouldn't it? Like, you don't score every chance that you feel like you should score. It don't work like that. So for me, you build winning games on defending properly. And I mean, I don't even know how you want to structure today's chat. Like, individually, we can pick them apart. And my word, can I pick some of them apart today?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. My analysis of the game, and I think to be brutally honest, I'm one of those people that I watch the game and my analytical mind is not as sharp as someone like yourself. I know you're like with tactics and you come from a scouting background, and I think you're very kind of on point with that kind of stuff. Me just watching it as a layman, just watching it and kind of, I'm watching the first 25 minutes and I'm going, this is everything I want Leeds United to be in terms of how we went about the game. And they look woeful in that first 25 minutes. And we get the goal and you think, right, okay. But I think, the thing is, I said in our chat earlier in the week, I didn't think Leeds were going to win it. And I'm not saying I'm Mystic Meg and I knew this and I knew that, but I just had, do you know what it is? It's not even from any kind of analysis point of view. It's just from being a Leeds fan point of view.
It couldn't be that easy.
We're not going to win 2 games back to back because we're Leeds.
I get it.
United. There's just no way Roy Hodgson, 75 years of age, gets spotted in Leeds before he's walking around like, the weight of the world's not on him. And I just thought everything is just teeing up for a disaster. But the first 20, 25 minutes were there looking like, do you know what? Actually, this is going to be our day. With the passing, the interlinking, Anderson's having a great game. Sinisterra's doing bits. Bamford still looks atrocious when he has to control the football, but that's another story altogether. He can't do anything with his feet, can't move, can't do anything except get his body in the way. Gets the goal, of course, about 2 minutes after I said he'd been absolutely useless, typical. And then we score, and then we just start to retreat a bit. Retreat. Like you say, every corner, every free kick is an absolute nightmare for us. I'm looking at Meslier for the goal. I mean, I don't know what you think about this. That might be unfair, but I'm just watching Meslier, and I'm just like, can you have some presence, or can you just dominate, or do something, please?
Yeah.
He's just on his line all the time, dithering, and then he kind of does this.
He slips, doesn't he? He kind of slips.
He's watching the ball. The man comes in and beats him to it. It's like, mate, you're the goalkeeper. Jump up and grab that ball. Be aggressive. Yeah. We need help.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, he makes an absolute howler for the first goal. There is 2 points of contact from a Crystal Palace player before that, though, that mean that the goal still goes in. The first header's won by somebody, I think it was Struijk, who lost his man, and then the second, I think it was Rocker, who then was marking Gay. So, both times Palace have been able to get to that ball before a Leeds player. So we have to look at that first. And then Meslier, obviously, I mean, he's not ready to come out. Because
what's he doing?
Well, if he is, with his arms extended.
What is he doing? He's 2 inches off the bleeding ground. Get up and get the ball.
Yeah. He turns himself into about 5 foot for some reason. Like, it's crazy. I know. But I've said this about Meslier for weeks now. And again, I think the same goes for today. He doesn't save anything today that he shouldn't save. Like, there's no
he don't.
Everything he saves is right at him. He saves the Elise free kick, which were an easy catch. And I can't think of him making another save.
No.
The second goal, he should save. The third goal, he should save. And don't, there is defensive mistakes that lead to the shot on target. But the second, third...
Help us out.
Yeah.
Help us out.
That's what Johnson did. Sam Johnson kept them in the game in the first half, in the first 30 minutes, by pulling off some really, really good saves. I mean, the save from Brendan Aronson, my word, it was a corker. We should have been 2-0 up. But... No, what?
Yeah, but but there's that interview with Meslier recently where he's like, well, I have to perform well to get my move. Let's just simmer down those expectations about a move and all that kind of thing. Mate, you're 22, 23. Just get yourself up to scratch. Because like you said, he saves nothing that he shouldn't save.
He doesn't save anything that isn't right at him at the moment. And it's been like that for most of the season. It feels like he's just there to occupy the space, to make sure that when a defender passes it back to the goalkeeper, there's somebody there. I really feel like you could get anybody to do what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Like
get Robles in.
Yeah. He literally might as well. Because he's not offering anything else that any standard goalkeeper that you could pull from Sunderland couldn't do. Like, because his distribution's not been great either.
Distribution's been terrible.
I'm sick of seeing him do the pretend throw out one way and then throw it out the other way as well. It drives me mad. Like, why? What is it doing? It drives me mad. I've never mentioned it before, but I think it every time I watch us. I think, why have you done that?
Stop it. Stop doing that fake roll thing. It's like, the thing is, our centre-backs, we're struggling on set pieces today. You can use your hands.
Command. Come out.
Get out there and catch the ball. Punch the ball. Stop going on your line and dithering about and then jumping to literally 1 foot off the air like that to punch it. And the guy just knocks it in ahead of you because you're so unaware. But help us to do it. Now, the thing is, it's not all about Meslier and the problems of Meslier. It's damn frustrating when you get to this, but that is a nightmare of a result. That is a nightmare of a performance. I mean, that for me, I'm looking at that and just going, I don't even know where you begin to. I mean, bloody Palace have scored 5 goals away from home. Our goal difference, that's screwed our goal difference now. It's dragged us right down. We haven't got to the 30-point mark. We're right in the mire. We're right in the mire again.
Palace, no wins away from home in 10. Bear in mind. 1 win in all competitions this year. Like, and don't get me wrong, when Roy came in, I thought it made sense. He asked me the other day what I thought about it. I thought it made sense. He's going to sharpen them up. He's going to make them more difficult to play against. Today, the crazy thing is, in that second half, some of the goals that they were scoring, some of the chances that they were getting, they didn't even have to do anything special to create them. Like, it weren't, and bear in mind they were without Zaha. I mean, what do they do to us if he's playing today? Because it can be a little bit frustrating, but he's a damn good player.
We had zero physicality. There's a bit in the second half where Elise is just going left, right, jinking through, and we're just,
Yeah.
We're just going, just pass. Foul him. Do something. For goodness sake, stop him. Do something. He's just running through us. He's just literally running through us. I mean, Roy Hodgson, I remember hearing a thing with Roy Hodgson, and he said people always consider him quite a pragmatist, defensive coach. When he goes into a club, and this really stuck with me, he said he doesn't tell teams how to defend. He shows teams how they're going to win games. He's going to show you how to attack, how to actually win games. And you can see that. Do you know what I mean? He goes and he wins his first 2 games. I mean, he did bugger all at Watford last year. I don't think he gave a crap about what happened to Watford.
They were crap as well, weren't they?
They were crap.
Really
He'd already had problems with the owners when he was at Udinese,
Yeah.
and it's the same bloody owners. He didn't give a crap about Watford. Comes into Palace. I mean, our players were bouncing off him. Elise, whatever. Get out of the way. Ayling, who are you? I don't even know. You're like a fly. I'm just going to go like that to you.
The defending.
I'm just going to go like, I'm just going to breathe on you and you're going to crumble. Where were McKennie? Where was Rocker the second half? Get hold of the game. Yeah. Do something. Where are you?
The midfield did seem to lose the game completely in the second half, but it was like they were bypassing the midfield. It was there weren't anything going on in there. Yeah. It was unbelievable. I mean, McKennie was fantastic first half. It were everywhere. But the defending down the wings, both sides, Junior Firpo's not getting away with it today either. Put himself on a yellow card for a stupid foul, which led to the goal.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't do anything second half because he didn't go anywhere near Elise or whoever picked up that side.
We don't have another left back.
We bring on our second choice right back at left back who's got no left foot.
Who's the least technical player you've
or
ever
mobile.
Seen. The least ability of a player I've ever seen at this level, by the way.
But Brownie, Ayling.
Oh.
The once they'd scored, I think the second. I can't remember if it was the second or the third goal that kind of just. No, it was the header. Was it the second goal that was the header? The Andre Jordan Ayew header.
It's just a blur of bloody Palace goals that second half.
So Ayling gets the ball and tries to switch the play quickly. Does it aimlessly towards Harrison, and Harrison's beaten in the air to a header. The ball then comes back in, and Ayling's beaten at the back post again. At the back post, and Melier should probably save it and doesn't. It goes in, and it's like, Luke.
How many mistakes has this guy made? How many goals?
It was so poor second half today.
Lately, Ayling. How many times has Ayling made mistakes?
Yeah,
it's every game, every bleeding game. It's just crap. Yeah. And the thing is, he was fine for the first 25 minutes. He's making those runs, those Ayling wing back runs, great and all that. It's not good enough if second half you're going to crumble. And mate, you're 32. You're the leader of the team. You're meant to have experience.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I can't get over how bad he was second half. Constantly. It was embarrassing. Every time he was faced up with something to do defensively, he just got made to look stupid. They just ripped him apart time and time again. And I thought...
Where's the help, though? The thing I'm watching is where... Double on him. McKennie, Rocker, help him. Get to that position. Do something. Help him.
You saw it in the first half. Cock covered him 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Coming across and covering when the ball had gone in behind Ayling, smashing it out for a throw. And it's like, but then what's happening behind him? It doesn't take long for good players to find that Cock's having to drag over to cover him, and then the space in behind. Cock is the only one today that came out with any sort of credit for me defensively. I thought he had a really, really good first 40 minutes. Second half he struggled, but he's going to struggle when he's playing alongside the 3 of them, because I thought Stroik had a stinker. I thought he had a real stinker today. Positionally really poor, not getting out, just trunging around. But again, I mean, he didn't have a lot of support from in front of him. I don't know. The damage came from the wings, and Melier was so poor.
What a bleeding mess. What a bleeding mess. You know, you're looking at yesterday, you're going, okay, Leicester and Forest have lost. It's a massive chance now to get that gap, get us the hell out of this relegation. You know, okay, it's not home and dry, but 32 points.
It'd be massive, Brownie.
32 points are there begging to be taken. Yeah. And then saying, see you later to the problems and to the issues and to, you know, and we lose 5-1 at home, and the players absolutely crumbled. It was shambolic. And for me, whatever happens now, if we stay up, Gracia don't get the job. He don't get the job. He don't get the job. If we stay up now, I think you just look at it. I don't think he gets the job. I think he's. I know. It's extreme to jump to that, but I just think In the summer, you get the takeover and you look at a proper thing where you go, okay, who's the manager that's going to do this? Because I don't know. It could be over. That could be an overreaction. But
You know what? I mean, personally, I would say that's a little bit of an overreaction because, from my perspective, when he took over, it was too late anyway, and we were going down. I said that to you, and I still after today, I can't feel any different to that. So
after today, it's like guaranteed nailed on.
Well, if he stays up, if he does keep us up, it can only then be a hell of an achievement. So whether he gets the job or not, I think still needs to be based on whether, they decide he's the right man for the job going forward. I don't think today should define that. I hear you, because there's certain things that will have happened because of the way that he sets up. We can't say that things happened under Jesse Marsh because of the way that he sets up and then not say the same for Gracia. I just think today we again got exposed for the fact that we have got so little quality at the back, especially when Verber's missing. He's absolutely essential for the way that Junior Firpo plays, for the way that Luke Ayling plays, for the way that Robin Koch plays, himself and his own ability, and he helps Meslier. Like, he is essential. He's our Rafinha of last year, and it's hard to make the comparison for a centre back to be the same as an attacking player like Rafinha. But in terms of it being essential for what's happening, so yeah,
absolutely true.
Listen,
I agree. I think it's true. I think Verba. I mean, where is he as well? When's he coming back? I don't even know when he's coming back. Is he even close or what?
No.
Where the hell is he? Is he out for 5 games?
Did you see Adam Forshaw on the bench today?
Yeah,
I didn't even see it, and I saw it on Twitter, and it made me chuckle because I didn't even notice.
In the match day squad, I saw it, and I just thought, "Wow." Oh, wow. Well, then that's fine. We're fine then, aren't we?
Yeah, we're all
Adam
right.
Forshaw's back in the match day squad. I don't even know where today's come from. I just do not know. That's not been on the cards at all from what we've seen.
No, it's not.
Now,
it's not.
Someone said earlier in the week, I did hear a thing where they said Gracia has been overperforming to the underlying stats.
Yeah, you said that.
I'm sure.
I don't agree with that.
It wasn't to 5 bleeding 1 at home to Palace.
No.
But did he react enough? Did he grab hold of that? I mean, what did he say? I mean, half time, it's like, okay, they get it's 1-1 at half time, but Jesus, what the hell? Come out in the second half and rally. What was that second half start? We just crumbled.
It's hard to put an explanation on it because, if you start like that, you can kind of understand that the players are just having bad games or like they're having off days, but that weren't the case. There were some good performances in that first half, and the game just disappeared from us. But when you give good players a way into the game, like we did through defending the set pieces so badly, they find a way into it. There's some good players in that team. There's some really good players in that Crystal Palace team. But they have their own Luke Aylings in players like Joe Ward. Like, let's not pretend that I don't know. I'm so dejected from it today.
It's one of the problems that you don't have another central midfielder to bring on and just sit as a 3 in that midfield and just block it up a little bit and have an extra person to run around like a headless chicken. And when you've only got 2 in the middle, it's just, and I know you've got an attacking midfielder or whatever, but it's not quite the same.
No.
Is it just not? I mean, there's no midfield options. There's nobody set. There's no central midfield options at all.
Maybe,
now Tyler Adams is out. There's no central midfield options.
I think this recruitment issue
help that second half.
This recruitment issue runs all the way through the team, though, doesn't it? Because it's not just centre midfield. Centre midfield is definitely an issue for that option, like you say. But we have that same issue at left back. We have the same issue at number 9. Whether, the argument of Rodrigo, number 9 or not, still making his way back to fitness and all the rest of it, we still don't have somebody that can do what Bamford did 2 years ago. We still don't have that profile, whatever you want to call it.
He's so bad on the ball. He's so bad on the ball. I can't believe how bad he is on the ball. He's awful on the ball. He was terrible against.
You see when he ran it out for play on right hand side because he didn't want to touch the ball with his right foot, and it's like,
oh my god. It's just so bad. You look at Ollie Watkins at Aston Villa and you're going,
And we could have had him as well.
You
We
know,
could have
look
had
at
him.
that. We could have had him. You
We
know.
could have had him.
Do you know when I got bad vibes about this game? I saw, do you know the overlap they do on Sky? And they were predicting the bottom of the, who's going to get relegated. Jamie Carragher said Leeds, and I was really shocked to hear it. I was like,
yeah, I saw that.
Why is somebody still predicting Leeds, after Javi's come in and everything looks brighter? And I don't know why it stuck with me. I was just like, nah, if we win this, 32 points, I mean, we'd have been up to, 13th. Well, we'd have been up to 12th. Would have been 6 points or 7 points behind Chelsea. We'd have been fine. And then you look at it today and it's like turmoil again. We're in trouble again.
I am utterly convinced that we will be the team that it's between. That's where I'm at. We will finish 16th, 17th, or 18th. That's where I see our fate. I mean, if I had to put my house on it, like I'd stick to what I said. I think we will go down. It's just looking through it, and I mean, especially with Verba missing, and just everything points that way. I think Leicester are going to make a massive impact in this situation. This disappointment of Jesse Marsch is, while we might laugh at it, right, and it is funny, and he probably will end up doing more damage than good, there is part of me that says Vibe Merchants FC for 8 games, he could drag them over the line because there's some serious quality in that team. So yeah, they I think they're the one that'll go.
Can you imagine? Could there be anything worse than Leicester leapfrogging us with Jesse Marsch?
Imagine. Still Leeds, isn't it?
We've just stabbed ourselves in the back, haven't we? We've just absolutely killed ourselves with that result today. We could have been
just massive.
We could have been so far gone. We got Liverpool next week, and it's you're looking at that going, well, we know. I mean, the way we crumbled, I just look at it and go, I mean, we've got Fulham away, and Fulham are on a bad run. They got, they haven't got Mitrovic, but it's Leeds.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
It's Leeds. You know what I mean? It's like, it's Leeds, and we're just so.
I've just been going through on a group chat with some football friends in general, not specifically Leeds fans. Some are other fans, and looking at these next 4 games, I've said we need 7 points from the next 4. And that's Liverpool at home, Fulham away, Leicester at home, and Bournemouth away. Because then after that, we've got City at their place, Newcastle at home, West Ham away, which could be absolutely massive, and then Tottenham at home. So, 7 points only then takes us to 36, which probably still won't be enough. So, I just think
we really messed up.
We're running out of game. Yeah, today was absolutely massive. That's why I still said on the show the other day that it were a must-win game. We've come out of these 2 games, these 2 massive home games, both winnable, with 3 points. It's just not enough.
Well, I did a video yesterday on the channel, just a short video, and it was saying after yesterday's results, the fact that Bournemouth got a win, West Ham got a win, Wolves got a win, we had to. This was a must-win because we're not going to get opportunities to play teams like that at home. There are no home games like that apart from Leicester now. And God knows what state Leicester are going to be in. They could be, like you say, Marsch motivated. It could be that crazy situation. How lucky were we under Marsch last year to even survive? Yeah. If he gets an ounce of that luck again, they'll be fine. We've just really messed up today, Jason. We've really, really screwed up today.
Yeah, it's the manner of it as well, though, Brownie.
Oh, we wilted.
Yeah, it's the manner of it as much as there's a way to win a game, a way to lose a game. And if you're going to lose a game, we'd be just as angry, we'd be just as frustrated if we'd have, if they'd have stank their way to a 2-1 win, let's say, or whatever. But losing 5-1 at home against a team in such poor form, without their best player, but a couple of important players as well. Gaeta were missing today as well, and Johnson comes in and looks like prime Casillas. But yeah,
and our keeper's diving 2 inches off ground.
You just don't have any confidence. Going to say
played all bleeding season, played three years in the Premier League, and touted as one of the best, up and coming keepers. I'm sure he is, but friggin' he's not improved at all, has he?
I think he's regressed.
He has.
I said that in the group chat.
All.
He's regressed over the last 18 months since Bielsa's gone.
He's totally regressed. He's just he absolutely has regressed completely. I'm just looking at it going, what are you giving us at the minute, mate? Yeah. What are you doing that's special anymore? Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at the stats from today. I mean, Crystal Palace, they ended up notching 16 shots. I mean, that second half. Did we have a shot in the second half?
Not that I can remember. We definitely didn't have one on target. I can't remember one.
What the hell happened?
I'll be honest with you, though. After the third goal, I switched off a bit. I were on my phone.
I couldn't absorb. I couldn't take it in.
I were watching bits, and I was just watching Christensen getting wrecked down his side and Ayling getting wrecked down that side. And I mean, the third goal that Ayew just got left on his own on the penalty spot.
Yeah. And it was like, is it offside or not? And it was like, no, it's nowhere not offside.
Yeah,
nowhere near offside.
I'm thinking, what's happening here?
Christensen playing him on.
Yeah, Strike and Koch were in absolute no man's land. They were. I don't even know how a player finds himself in that much space in the box onside. It makes no sense. I mean, it is Christensen's fault for being 3 yards further back, I suppose. But
I mean, where the hell do we go from here? Because for me, it's like we have to wait now. And I always know with Leeds, whenever you get a long break to the next game, we always end it on a sour note. It's like when we went to the World Cup, we lost to Spurs. It's always got to be a sour note.
When's the next game? Are we
Liverpool Monday night.
Oh, for God's sake!
Liverpool Monday night. So we've got all bleeding week to stew on this crap game where we lost 5-1 to a team that was placed one place above us. One bleeding place above us.
6-pointer, innit? 6-pointer. I don't know where it leaves us. I mean, you can't really hope to have a worse game really up next at home because Liverpool are going to be a bit wounded. They're going to get smashed today. I think they're already 2-0 down. They're going to come at Welling Road and probably sense blood, and they're going to have probably too much for us.
Yeah,
I would imagine. I mean, in the run-up to this game and then knowing Liverpool were then coming thereafter, I felt fairly confident that we might be able to get something against Liverpool, given the season that they've had. But after watching that today, how do you have any confidence now?
No. So, you can't, because, I mean, we absolutely crumbled to a team that was one place above us, have had their manager in place for a week or something.
Yeah.
And he's able to win a game 5-1 away from home. Well, how the hell does that happen?
It's very plausible that we're now going to the Leicester game at home, which would be an absolute must-win with no further points. We're still there on 29 points. It's very, very plausible.
I absolutely expect that. I absolutely expect that situation we'll be in. I mean, for me, what the hell do you do about right back? Just to take it in a completely different tangent, I'm just looking at it going, what on earth do you do about that? Because you've got a guy pulling up trees in the Championship who didn't get bugger all chance, never got given a run of games or anything. Never got given a run of games, and people writ him off after one game in the Premier League.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we are so limited for options, obviously, that are now available to us. I mean, we can talk about Cody Drama until we're blue in the face, but the facts are is it's not an option, which is unbelievably frustrating. I have no doubt that if Grassy had come in before he'd have gone, he'd have probably still been one of the options because he clearly doesn't trust Christensen, and he's not blind. Like he's tactically very astute. Ayling is absolutely stinking the place out right now. He's so poor. He's playing so badly defensively, especially. He
undermines everything you're trying to do. Like, there's just no point.
It's like going into a boxing match with
defended.
It's like going in a boxing match with only one hand. That's how it feels. So, I mean, if Tyler were fit, I'd play him there, but he's not, and he's probably going to be out for the season. And then you have no other options, do you? You play Christensen. You have to right now. You have to play Christensen there.
And we gave Ayling another deal. We gave Ayling another year. Why? Why did we do that? Just sentimentality FC.
He can play right
go
back
on
in
then,
Championship.
Forshaw. Here's another deal, Forshaw. Yeah, I know you've played 5 games in 4 years. Here's another lucrative contract at a Premier League football team as a midfielder. Give me a break, man.
Did you see the game
Do
show the other day?
something.
Did you see the game show that Leeds United official YouTube page did?
Oh,
You know,
don't tell me.
So it was like 3 legends and 3 current players.
Oh,
and one of them was
yeah.
Adam Forshaw. And the first cut, like they get them to introduce themselves in a cheesy kind of way that they do on game shows, and they asked Adam Forshaw what he does, and he says he plays football for Leeds United, and I was just giggling to myself like, that's that's a stretch, Adam.
This is what the marketing team at the club do.
I know,
this is what the marketing club do. They go, oh, Liam Cooper's painted a picture. Give him a 10-year deal. They're idiots. They just be ruthless, for God's sake.
I know.
Nick G here. Shocker today, lads. Complete out of the blue. That one fell apart after the first goal. Nick G, thank you for your comment, mate. Absolutely true.
I think Nick's been too nice. Like
he is. It's just brutal reality. Brutal reality of it is, did we have a 5-1 under Marsh at end of last year? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just that is damaging. That's damaging stuff.
For me, it's the worst half of a performance since we came back to the Premier League. It is the worst. Under Marsh, under Gracia, under Bielsa, it's the worst. Worse than any of the drubbings that we got under Bielsa because of the level of the opposition at home. Given the fact of where we were in the game and we were 1-0 up. Like, this is not comparable to when Arsenal spanked us or even when Tottenham spanked us, because the squad that we had available today was much stronger. We had so much more available for us. So my brain keeps on like disappearing. That's where I'm at today. Like I'm so.
I was watching
dejected.
it, but I wasn't taking it in. I was kind of watching. I was exactly there going, what's happening? When it got to 2-1 or 3-1, I'm watching it going, what is this? I can't compute what this actually is.
Strange,
because
it? Really strange.
It was just so bizarre. It's like we were non-existent. We weren't in the game. It was just
I felt really optimistic in the build. Like minutes before the game, saw the huddle, I saw the way the players were looking, and then they came out. And obviously, we played really well for the first 20 minutes. But you know what, right? We can go back and forward over this. There's times in the game where you're going to be under the cosh in the Premier League and your defence needs to stand up and be counted, and your goalkeeper needs to stand up and be counted and keep you in the game by making the odd save every now and again. And the facts are is it must be really, really demoralising for everybody else that's in front of you if that when the moment does come that you need to do your job, you never keep the ball out of the goal. That's all I'm saying. Like, and I think it's
frustrating.
If we don't finish the first half particularly well, and we need Meslier to make 1 or 2 saves to just see us through till halftime 1-0 up, he should be able to do that. You should be able to do that. I'm telling you, right? If we'd have had Johnson in net, we'd have gone into the half 1 at 1.
We would,
in my opinion.
We would.
And we're not talking about a great goalkeeper here. We're talking about a keeper that we could have probably picked up for about £2 million. You know what I mean? He got released at West Brom the last time they got relegated, and he's been at Palace on the bench ever since. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, does Robles get a go?
Well, LUFC 11's just put in the comments there. I'm guessing he's probably not been in since the start of the stream because we've absolutely smashed Meslier to bits from minute 1 today.
Frustrated with Meslier.
Extreme, and it's not just today. He does get a pass because he's still considered young, and we defensively we're not great, so he's facing more shots than other keepers. And the championship season when he came in, and the first Premier League season, he was brilliant. The fact is he's regressed, and he's regressed a long, long way from the keeper that he was.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, he's not developed at all.
No, he's not.
What about someone like Aronson? How did you feel he did today?
I thought he had an all right start, to be fair. I thought he played. Oh, camera's gonna. I thought he played fairly well for the first half an hour, like most of them did. I thought it was linking play quite well. He had a flick around the corner, which I thought Johnson did unbelievably well to save. Really clever kind of finish, like back heel left with his left foot. It was linking play quite well. He was industrial. He does what he always does in terms of covering the ground. I don't think he played back. I mean, he was non-existent from probably the 35th minute to the point that he got taken off. And I tell you, somebody else that were non-existent all game today, Mr. Jack Harrison, back completely and utterly disappeared. Every time he got on the ball, ran into a dead end.
Sinistera though? Sinistera just
Sinistera wasn't great either. It wasn't. But it was making things happen early.
Do you think though with wingers, it's kind of like when the game gets away, it's like to expect your wingers to drag you back into it. It's like it's just not going to happen. It's like for me, Rocker and McKennie, in central midfield, you got to plug the gaps or do something, defend deeper or do some. Let me tell you this, Jason. So this is from Chris on All Leeds TV. He said, Ayling, the fullback was dribbled past on 6 occasions, more than any other defender.
Wow.
He lost the ball on 31 occasions, more than any defender, and was second best in 12 of his 18 duels. He was Leeds United's worst performing player.
Yeah, he was horrific today. He shouldn't have started. He shouldn't have started today. You know, we've kind of pointed the finger a little bit at Gracia as well, and there were a couple of things today that Gracia should have done that he didn't, and Ayling being dropped from the start was one of them. I think pretty much every fan would have been totally okay and would have understood Ayling being dropped out of the side today after his last 2 performances, and it carried on into today's performance. He got asked about it directly after the game, by the way.
Oh, did
about Ayling specifically, yeah, and he gave it the standard. He gave it the standard. I don't want to talk about individual performances. He's trying his best, blah blah blah, that kind of shit. But he was asked specifically about it. So yeah, I think without a doubt he should have come out. And maybe, and again, the game goes away from the second half, and you said, was he too slow to react? I mean, the goals came quite quickly, but maybe, at 1-1 start of the second half, maybe we do actually we take Aronson off at half time. I know it'd have been a bit brutal. We take him off at half time and go 3 in the centre. I don't know. It's all good in hindsight. Like, the fact is, for the first 35 minutes, we played quite well. So I don't know.
It's such a bizarre. This is the thing. It's really, really hard to judge because the opening half an hour was so good. It was. I think I tweeted. I said it's best performance of the season so far. Best opening 20-25 minutes. And then we just started to give silly free kicks away and corner after corner. It's like, stop giving them set pieces, for goodness sake. How dumb are you for giving them stop. It's so obvious.
That gave them the momentum. That gave them the momentum to build back into the game. The Firpo tackle that led to the goal, stupid, after managing to actually defend the previous free kick, which for some reason Elise tried to hit like a goal, like it was never a position he was going to score from, really. So we got away with one, and then we gave another one. Game management stuff again, innit? But they in that second half, they banged down them fullback at the wings constantly. That's what Hodgson had told them at half time. Get at the fullbacks.
Yeah.
Purple's now on a yellow card. Ayling's having a stinker. He's in bad form. Get at him every single time you got the ball. They didn't attack down the centre at all. They didn't go in them central spaces until they got to the edge of the box. That's when they started coming centrally. Everything was down the wings. So,
yeah, and when you look at our options as well, like you say, we don't have another left back in the squad that we could bring on and do anything. You got Pascal. It's just, I'm just looking at it going, we could taste freedom. We could taste the escape.
Yeah.
We could taste 30 points. We were right on the pinnacle. Do you know what I mean? We put in such a good performance against Forest. But, and you said this as well, it's bleeding Forest who are absolutely shocking.
They're the worst team in the league for me. Forest.
LUFC 11. How many points do you think we need to say? I don't know, mate. I'll be honest with you. Thanks for your question, by the way.
9.
For me, I'm just...
We need 9. I think 38 is going to be.
We'll go
that's what I think it's going to be. If you have a look at the teams that play each other and things like that, I think realistically, because they can't obviously all take points and they're playing some of the bigger teams and all the rest of it. I think realistically, 17th is going to have to finish on around 38, which it feels impossible right now, looking at the 8 games that we've got left.
Dav said we made them look like prime Barcelona. They were ole. They were. I mean, Elise was just waltzing through us. He was just waltzing through us, and nobody thought to foul him.
It were piss taking at 3-1.
Absolute piss out of all of us.
Yeah, they did.
It really was, honestly. I mean, I know what LUFC 11. I know what you're saying. It so Leeds to win against Liverpool, but we ain't doing the double on Liverpool.
No,
get that out of your head.
Yeah.
Get that out of your head. We are not doing the double on Liverpool. Don't even give yourself the hope of the double on Liverpool. This is Leeds. We're struggling until game 38.
People are banking on this Bournemouth game, right? I mean, I've been saying for weeks I think Bournemouth will stay up, regardless of whether Leeds go down or not, right? I think they're a good side. And at home, I think that's a horrific game for us. Like, I actually think we've got a better chance of getting a win anyway, away at Fulham than we do away at Bournemouth. I just do. That's the way that I feel about it.
This is what a result like today does, and the capitulation. I'm looking at all them games. I'm looking at 8 fixtures going, we could crumble in every single one. I'm just like, I have no faith in any of those. Even Leicester at home, I'm like, it's bleeding Leeds. If they show the quality, if Harvey Barnes and Maddison turn up, they've got the quality. Look at Palace today. Do you know what I mean? Look at their quality players. We've just really messed up today, Jason. We've really screwed it up today. We've absolutely screwed it up today. And we had it in the palm of that. We're winning 1-0. And I don't know what happened. And for me, it's just, and you said, a couple months ago, whenever it was, you still thought Leeds were going down. It's like, you can totally believe it from today because Leicester changed manager. You don't know what effect that's going to have. And you just don't generally know what teams are capable of. But to lose 5-1 at home, I mean, I don't know who else has had as bad a result as that.
Not against the teams that are in or around.
West Ham lost 5 to Newcastle.
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, it's totally different caliber, isn't it?
With bloody Isaac and Callum Wilson. Not Zaha missing, and we lose 5-1 to the team without...
So Jordan Ayew. 39 goals in 240 Premier League appearances. Bangs a brace. Edwards not scored in 14. Boom. Welcome Leeds United.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're pathetic. We're just the team that will help you out. Dr. Leeds, like we said all season.
Yeah.
Dav, we need Werber. Well, we do. Don't know where he is. We don't know what the time scale is. Is he going to be fit when he plays? That's the other problem. Not just the fact that you're waiting for him to get back in. What state is he going to be in when he comes back?
Yeah. We'll definitely look back at the end of the season if we go down and say that international break when them 3 got injured was huge, and him specifically is the biggest out of the 3.
Your best defender.
Your best defender. He changes the whole back line. Did
he play in the Wolves game?
No.
They were in the Wolves. Did he not play in the Wolves? When's the last game he played? Let me have a look at the Wolves game.
I thought
line up.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, that was his last game, wasn't it? I think
he did.
That was his last game.
Because Tyler Adams were injured for that game, no?
Yeah.
Did Tyler get injured before that then?
Yeah, that was the first Rocker McKennie, I think.
Right, yeah. I thought they were all injured together, but yeah. I mean, just coming back to the conversation about like analysing the situation and I think what a lot of fans do is they're on either side of the fence. Either they're emotional and they think they always are positive and they always say we'll stay up, or they're emotional and they're really negative and they say we're always going to go down. I try and surround myself as much in the middle of that as I possibly can. Yeah. And when you analyse this whole situation, Everton have got Dyche and Leicester in this situation now with Jesse Marsh. And I mean, I didn't know that when I said what I said a couple of months ago. But when you look at the whole picture, there's no way that you can be confident. Of course, we can stay up, But there's no way that you can be confident, given the last 8 games that we've now got, that we'll get enough points to stay up. It's just, especially, Palace play so many of the teams around them, and now I hope Palace just beat everybody. Like, I hope Palace finish 8th.
Yeah.
I hope they just beat them all, because they literally play them all. I think Leicester have got a decent run in. Forest have got a bad run in. I think they're gone. And I think Southampton are probably gone. It is going to be between Leicester, Leeds, and Everton for that last spot, I think. Because I always thought Wolves and West Ham would get enough to get away with it. And they've shown that when they really need it at the weekend, they both pulled out wins. Good wins as well. Wolves beating Chelsea at home. I know Chelsea are not the side that they once was, but still, it's a big win. And West Ham going to Fulham and winning. They've got that in their locker. They've got that in the players that they've got. Do we have that in the locker? I'm not sure at this stage of the season whether we do.
No, exactly. And I think when you look at it as well, and it's just, honestly, I'm just so. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. The evidence is in front of your eyes of what we're about and what this season is about. And I think I'm looking at them games and I'm going, I don't know where that next win comes from, really. I just, and it Leeds to go and win it, but I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I just think the quality is not in that squad at all. I mean, if you compare Crystal Palace's squad to ours, what are you seeing there? Are you seeing a 5-1 or are you seeing just a...
No, I'm not saying a 5-1, but they do have more quality all over the pitch than we do. We just do, the options that they have in midfield, even to bring on somebody like Will Hughes. I know he's not a fantastic centre midfielder, but he can still come on and dictate play in a way that Adam Forshaw can't, as an example.
But he made the squad.
He made the squad.
Sentimentality FC. You know what? Let's give him a new deal.
Yeah.
Let's give him a new deal.
Crystal Palace fans today, right? They'll have seen Sam Johnson coming into the team and they won't have been like, oh my God, this is horrendous. Like, he's a solid backup goalkeeper. They had options all over the back. Their back 5 is way more... I would be way more comfortable with their back 5 than our back 5. Way more comfortable.
Yeah.
Decouri in the midfield, the attacking players that we've got some good attacking players. We can't just be, on the emotion of this drubbing and be like, right, all of us players are now shit, because that's not the reality. We do have some real good attacking threats, but they have equally, I would say, as good attacking threats to then match with the rest of the quality that they've got in the team. My opinions on Vieira. He weren't getting as much out of him. Some fans were really against that sacking. Someone look at the fixtures that they had, but he'd not taken them forward from Hodgson. He'd not. Yeah. I think they finished 2 points better off last season than the season before under Hodgson, and Vieira had a fair bit to invest. He'd brought some players in, so I wasn't buying it. I'm not surprised that Palace have picked up a couple of results, but. Yeah, I think, the positives for us, the silver linings, they are that we have got some match winners, Sinistera, Somerville, Rutter, if he does get more opportunities, Nonto, obviously. We have got players like that can hurt teams, but I don't, given what we've got at then the other end of the pitch right now, we're banking on. Well, we're not even banking on him because he's not playing, but Liam Cooper to come in or Stroke to come in if our best centre-back's injured. It's not enough to survive in the Premier League. It's not.
No, it's not. I saw a tweet from Adam Crafton from The Athletic. Let me see if I can pull this up, because I thought it was quite interesting to see. Let me see if I can still find it. 2 minutes. Yeah, so Adam Crafton, he said, slightly confused as to why, if Leeds had £35 million going spare in January during a relegation fight, they spent it on a 20-year-old forward who doesn't seem ready for Premier League football. I mean, it's...
I saw your response to it.
I mean, he can't get the minutes or the time or anything, can he, at the minute? You're just going, well... I don't think Javi's sold on him, is he really?
Javi's not sold on him. Jesse weren't sold on him. From what we've heard, little whispers, There were a bit of a disagreement in the background about whether we, go through with that deal. I can't remember if it were Orta that wanted him and the 49ers didn't, or the other way around. I can't remember. But there were definitely a disagreement between, the decision makers. I'm like, from what we've seen of the lad, he's got talent, he's got some potential. But Adam's point is absolutely spot on. It's absolutely spot on. We desperately needed a number 9 that could come in and be ready to play the rest of the season, starting games.
Yeah.
And instead, we bought a winger or an inside forward, whatever you want to call him, that isn't ready to start games. So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, recruitment is, when we go through the end of season kind of debrief, if you like, this will be where we spend probably 75% of us time talking, because it is the be all and end all for why another year is going to go by along with Jesse and playing the way that he did. But ultimately, recruitment is still costing us massively. I mean, let me just read out Crystal Palace's bench today, right?
Yeah.
Just because I think it makes a good point. So, John Felipe Matete was on the bench, came on Friday, who's an out-and-out number 9.
Yeah.
Lokonga, who was at Arsenal. I don't know if he's on loan at Palace this season, but he's still there. Riedveld, who can play all across the back, all across midfield. Milivojevic, who has been there for years, a very experienced centre midfielder. Will Hughes, who we mentioned earlier.
He was a wonder kid at one point.
Yeah, solid centre midfielder. You can always depend on him. Joe Whitworth's the backup keeper, number 3, so we won't count him. James MacArthur, been around for years, super experienced Premier League midfielder. James Tompkins, super experienced defender. Nathaniel Klein, super experienced right back. You compare that bench, and this is not Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Arsenal. This is Crystal Palace, right? Probably the 10th biggest club in London.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Probably.
Like,
yeah.
That's their bench. And you compare it to our bench. Fucking Elise, man, he got 3 assists today. Jesus Christ. I just seen that as I was scrolling through.
He tore as a new one, didn't he?
Nonto, who we all know what he can do and what his potential is. Sam Greenwood, Somerville, Rutter, Robles, Christensen, Adam Forshaw, Rodrigo, and Liam Cooper. Now, it's better than it was 18 months ago under Bielsa when he was struggling for them injuries. But you compare them two, it's night and day. Yeah. It really is night and day. And, we are kind of, the point that we are at is we look at that bench and say, the bench ain't bad. That's only in comparison to the shite that we had 12 months ago. Innit, Brownie?
Yeah, 100%.
We
had McGurk or whatever.
Yeah, it's totally different kettle of fish. And,
God.
Yeah.
Well,
we just flying by the seat of his pants, man.
Yeah, and it's only in one position. So Somerville, Nonto, Rutter, Rodrigo, where do they play on the pitch?
All wide.
Front.
All wide. Attacking positions.
Where's the midfield? Where's the defensive options?
I mean,
so
again,
you got,
sorry to interrupt you. We're comparing the two benches, right? They've got Will Hughes, James MacArthur as an example as solid centre midfield options. We've got Adam Forshaw. Sam Greenwood's not a centre midfielder. We all know that. On that bench, we have Adam Forshaw, who can play centre midfield. He's a championship centre midfielder that has been chronically injured for 4 years. And he's obviously a good footballer. We know he's got a good brain, but he's a championship player at best.
Nobody else would dream of doing that one.
Nobody
else would dream of, And I'm just sick of the sentimentality FC. New deals. It's like when Dallas comes back, and it's like he was player of the season for a couple of years running, everything like that. How old is Dallas going to be when he comes back? 31, 32?
30 plus, yeah.
So what? Oh, is he going to save? Like what are we going to do? I guarantee you, social media accounts, LUFC social media, Dallas, 2-year extension.
He's had a horrific injury as well. He's had a
Yes.
horrific injury.
Yes,
He won't ever be quite the same again, I
won't.
don't think, won't Dallas?
No.
It's funny, you know, just coming back to Forshaw. Last year when we were like and ahhing in January time about signing Lewis O'Brien. Remember when we were about Lewis O'Brien? I don't think Lewis O'Brien would come in and pull up trees, but he'd have given us a really good midfield option. He'd have played a lot of games, or he'd got a lot of minutes. He'd have been a really good backup option, right? I had Huddersfield fans, because I suggested at the time a good deal for Leeds would be 5 million plus Adam Forshaw on loan for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
it made sense. It made sense because they were in this.
Oh God, they wouldn't like that, would they? They wouldn't like that, would they?
They were. Forshaw's
Forshaw. You can't get rid of Forshaw.
Well, no. Huddersfield fans were saying that he weren't good enough to play in their starting 11. And this is what's on our bench. Now, Huddersfield fans were probably wrong, but the irony is funny. So anyway,
it's just, I mean, it sums it up perfectly because it's just a full of that nonsense. Honestly, you had an absolute genius as a coach who got people to an unbelievable level that no one had ever seen these players ever achieve before, ever. And we're still going, yeah, we can still use them. They can still come in and do it, you know. And this is why we're at where we are. This is why we're still struggling. Year 3 in the Premier League, which is absolutely brutal. You know, the accounts have been published today. Leeds United made a loss. Most Premier League teams do. It's not a disaster to make a loss in the Premier League, as wacky as it sounds. I think it was a 34 million loss. Obviously, we've got the player sales coming in next year and stuff. And you just look at it going, we just need, if we get through this season, if we somehow survive, then new ownership for me, you know, I think you look at it, you go, well, we need someone who can come in and really transform it all. And I'm sorry, if the new owners think they can come in and just hand out new deals to the old boys, the old championship, don't worry, just new deals all around, loads of deals for but you know why they do it? Because we're one of the lowest paid clubs in the, you know, if you look at us in the salary league, we're at the bottom because it's, you know, to pay these championship players, you know, we're paying championship wages basically.
We're trying to do it.
So if we get new owners in, they've got to put in a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah,
because for me, it's a rebuild. It's a rebuild.
Oh, it's absolutely a rebuild.
What the hell do you do with Rutter? We've paid 35 million for him. I don't know what he is.
You've got to stick with it and hope it works, mate. That's the truth.
You know, and the poor guy comes in, like, he must be thinking, Christ, I wish I'd have stayed at Hoffenheim where I was playing week in, week out and getting the experience. Why have I come here?
Yeah.
To play 2 minutes, get lambasted by everyone, and in a relegation fight. I mean, what are we going to do with Rutter in the Championship next season if we get relegated? How does that happen?
It doesn't even bear thinking about, does it?
No. Mr. P, all the good work over the last 6 games under Javi thrown out of the window, but worse to Palace. Well, it's been horrendous today. Absolutely horrendous. And it's kind of scary because you look at it going, I never thought a result like that would come under Gracia.
No, not the manner of it. Not the manner of it.
Thought it was too tactically astute and he would be able to plug the gaps, but he's just not been able to do it. And we've got a week, we got 8 days to sit on and think about this result. I just knew it was going to be a shocker because every time there's a gap, it's always a bad result with Leeds. Every time. Like when we lost to Spurs, we went to the World Cup, we had 3 months to think about bloody losing to Spurs 4-3 when we should have won. You know.
Hey, Brownie, my missus has ordered food unaware. I was unaware that it was coming. We did talk about ordering food, but it's arriving. So
go enjoy. Is it a curry?
We've got kebab and rice. Really nice place. It's beautiful. So I hate to drop off unannounced. It's not my style.
Enjoy. Forget about football.
I'll try. But as you've quite rightly said, we now have to sit for 8 days until we play Liverpool at home. So
And do you know what it is as well, Jason? It puts the whole season into disarray again.
It does.
It's all in disarray. It's all in disarray again.
I know.
Guys, if you've been watching, please like the video, subscribe for more content like this.
We try and be positive. We do. I promise. We do.
I haven't today. I've just been like, no, there's just nothing. It's just terrible.
It's been good. It's been good therapy.
It's been therapy again. I think we might need a midweek session or something.
We can do that. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll do that. Jason, thank you very much for joining me, mate. Good to chat as always. If you watch the video, please smash a like on it. Get it out to more Leeds fans. Please subscribe to the channel as well. And we roll with it, don't we? This is Leeds United. This is what happens. We'll be back next time. Thank you very much for watching.